Good evening, everybody, and welcome. Well, hold on, not yet. You got to wait till the clapping starts. Um, and where's Warrior at? Where
He's
is
hiding.
Is he hiding some? Because he's not in back. He's not in the green room. Um, anyway, welcome to Thursday Night Throwdown. All right, now you can start waving.
There he is.
Where
The
is he?
legend is on screen.
What's
Everybody duck.
up? Quack, 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 quack. Anyway, we got Mr. Reverend Rand here.
Where? Who? What?
How you doing?
How you doing? Hey, how you doing?
How you doing?
How you doing? Hi, I'm doing good. I'm living the dream. I'm spending my days focused on everything but myself.
That's life.
That's it.
That is life.
How
Okay,
you feeling, Pete?
Mr. Salty Nuts.
How
How's
you
it
feel?
Not to be misconstrued with the salty chocolate nuts.
No, just straight
Can you,
old.
hear, can you hear me, Pete?
I can hear you.
How you feeling?
Oh, I'm feeling okay. I'm feeling good.
That's good.
Yeah, mostly with my fingers and the three toes on my right foot. But besides that, pretty good.
We didn't really need those anyway.
Yeah, just a voice that I'm dealing with. Can't keep my mouth shut long enough.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Golf clap. All right, Mr. Spaz, how you doing?
I'm doing all right.
All right. So,
What's on your mind tonight, Pete?
I'm gonna tell you what's on my mind.
Oh boy.
Did anybody see the Biden press conference? Sorry, we got to talk about that.
You mean the I'm a big boy now press conference?
Is
So
that what
that microphone moves up closer, doesn't it?
to me?
You could move it up closer. That way you don't gotta,
Oh,
do
yeah.
this, like a chicken eating. Or one of those, what do they call these guys that read their book like this?
Yeah, one of those guys. So I was watching it on Woke Society's channel. I was laying down, relaxing, and he was like an hour late. I guess he was waiting for the meds to kick in. I don't know what was going on, but
Diaper change.
Is this the one where he I think it was, I seen something about him introducing the president of Ukraine as Putin.
yes,
Is that real?
yes,
Yeah,
I have to check.
that was that was at the NATO NATO meeting.
Yeah,
that's the guy representing the most powerful nation on the planet, ruler of the free world.
but
Of cranium and red versus.
I don't know what the hell happened. I fell asleep.
Look, it's Curly K. Lee.
Towards
Come on,
the end,
let's
I fell
talk about
asleep.
Curly K. Lee. She's such a great person. She's in your chat. She's blessing you.
Okay, I'll get there.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Anyway, towards the end of his speech, I fell asleep because he was droning on for like 20 minutes about I have no idea what.
I thought you were going to say because you were laughing too hard.
No, I was bored out of my friggin' mind.
I was like,
April is at her mom's house right now visiting, and she called me up and she said, "Are you listening to this shit?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I was watching it." She says, "I can't believe everything that comes out of this guy's mouth is a fabrication. Like the
Yeah.
real world doesn't exist."
Like we didn't know that for 56 years now? 50, no, excuse me. I actually know this one. 51 years.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, they're the ones purchase the fact check. He ain't really got a care in the world.
Yeah. I mean, it was hard to watch.
Yeah, can you jiggle your wire?
Me
Yes, you.
should. This is a different microphone.
Oh,
This shouldn't have any problems.
it's your wire then. Do you use sliders like when you're so now you cut out. I didn't know.
There it is. Whatever you wiggle, that's your problem. It's clear now,
Oh, okay. All right.
but whatever you wiggle, that's where your problem is.
You could turn it up a little bit to help you out, Pete. It's not too loud.
Yeah.
I hear like a constant hum.
That should be okay. Right about there.
You're loud.
Yeah.
Sounds better. You could even go higher if you felt like it.
No, I don't want to go too high. Then I'll blow people's earballs out.
Well, we want to hear you without you having to put too much into it. That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. So you could go up another notch and make that happen.
Blow them out.
How about now?
Hell yeah.
There you are.
That's good. Okay. All right.
On
All right.
the money.
Before we get into the heavy discussions, let me say hi to everybody in the chat. Mr. Spaz, thank you for the cans. Appreciate that, brother. Nova X, Sherry Pittsburgh, Disco Daphne over on the YouTubes, and the Pilled. Band Mom, welcome. We got Fly Free, Mo Phillips. What's up, Stacks? Jim Bob is here. Zombie, look at Zombie. I got a zombie shirt. Oh, sorry. I got all excited. Let's see who else. Who else is here? I got that one. M1911 Zoom. Welcome. Curly Kaylee.
She's texting me regarding you and your scenario with your health and stuff. And I think that I'm not in the position to talk too much about it. So I'm just going to.
Back 89. Let's see who else is here.
She says to send him my love.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Sean Joe's here. Welcome. Okay. To tell you the honest to God's truth, and I'm just gonna make a statement, and then I'll let you guys. We'll start with Reverend Rant. We'll go to Salty and then to Spaz. Hello, Sleigh Bells. Does anybody really think? And I know there's a lot of people out there who are hoping and praying and wishing and this and that he's going to be replaced in the next 116 days before the election. But does anybody really think that's going to happen? Rev, I'll start with you.
I don't think it's going to happen. B, I think that the Democrats couldn't find their ass with both hands, a search team and a search party helping them. I think that anything they do or don't do at this point is completely irrelevant. America has seen behind the curtain.
Okay. Mr. Nuts.
Okay. I hope that he stays around. I actually kind of hope he wins, because we know that if you go with that thought on, I don't think there's any one president that's going to put us in a better position out of the goodness of their heart than that. I think this an 8-year fiasco of the stupidest time in history of our country would be a better impression than just a 4-year stupid lesson. If we had an 8 solid year stupid lesson of what you can do if you try as hard as possible to fuck your country up, that this is what it would look like. And it would be a longer lasting impression for, once we fix everything ourselves, because we're going to have to, I think, that it would be a lingering memory to be passed on generations and generations. I don't know what he's hopped up on, whether it's adrenochrome and LSD and all that stuff. But I think Poopy Pants should try and stay.
Okay. What about you, Spaz?
Yeah, man. I mean, what a fine time to be alive. What a fine time to be alive. I think he's going to stay there. I think he has to stay there. I think he has to stay there. We need to remember at the beginning of that one of those pirate movies, and you seen him standing on the mast, and then by the time he gets to the shore,
It's sunk.
it's sunk. Right. I think we're watching that right now,
Yeah.
except that I don't think he's going to make it to the dock.
Oh, geez.
That was a perfect analogy of my wedding or my marriage.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
Reminds me of that cartoon of Kamala Harris pushing him downhill off of a cliff in his wheelchair.
Jeez. Okay, so first of all, there are millions of people in this country, Salty Nuts, that can't take another 4 years of this going on. Healthcare costs are out of control. Food costs are out of control. They try and flip switches around and say that the other guy is lying, the other guy is this, the other guy is that, when all of these people aren't living in reality. They're not living in our reality.
They don't buy their own groceries and stuff. They have no
Well, that's exactly what I'm saying. So how can we wish another 4 years of these people who turn around and say that we have the best economy in the last 75 years when they've never haven't gone to the grocery store since 1972?
Well,
So how would you want 4 more years of this?
I guess that would be my cynical point of view and my lack of faith in either person being up there. So that's where part of that comes from. It's not because I'm an idiot and I wish harm on the American people. You know.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. Hold on 1 second. Were you better off during the last administration or this administration?
The last one.
Okay. So wouldn't you think it would be a smarter idea for the American people themselves to vote this guy out of office?
Well, on the surface, by looking at it just from that level, it's sure.
Okay. Go ahead, Reverend Ram.
So I actually think things are going to get worse when we get Trump in office.
Okay, please explain that.
I seen your head pop up because the less lack of compulsion control, lack of any kind of control, their propensity to emotional vomit, they're going to have temper tantrums. They're already talking about it. They're planning on having temper tantrums. They're planning on showing more of their hand. And here's the thing is, a lot of people credit Trump with, exposing the deep state and all of that. And to a degree, yes. But to a larger degree, the deep state, aka retards, expose themselves because of their lack of behavioral control, emotional stability, and all the other things that they lack, and their ability to just play their hand and play the long game. Instead, they're having temper tantrums like children, and we know that they're gonna try to burn more cities and everything else. I mean, they're already talking. They've already put their cards on the table about this, and they're planning this. So they're gonna try to go out the deep end. But this time around, more Americans are pissed off. There's going to be a lot more Batmans out there than there was before, and that's why I think things are going to get worse before they get better. I think it needs to, but I think that either way we go, we're facing a shit show. Whether that's going to be worse than what Biden's doing to us. I can't make that argument, but I don't think, a lot of people have this idea that, we're going to get Trump in and then everything's going to be hunky dory. It's like, no, it's not.
Nobody believes that.
Yeah.
I don't think
I
anybody believes that.
I get people on social media to do it. I just feel like I should point it out.
No, yeah, but I don't think anybody who has, a ripple in a brain cell knows that it's not going to happen. I think that the promises that the Biden campaign made specifically to the progressives, the black community, and then failed to produce on any of them.
Yeah.
And I mean 0 of them.
Yeah.
I don't think that the black people or the agitators or anybody else are going to go out and riot over politics anymore because they know that they're all full of shit.
Only
that's
one
opinion.
only one basis in that I disagree with you on is if we were talking just, political motivation, then yeah, okay, sure. But every riot that we've had so far has been a paid operation. And that's where the problem is.
Hey, you ever thought to yourself, I wonder what these blacks are going to hate worse? The fact that the Democrats have always been racist, or that racist itself has changed colors since and making them not important now. Now we're changing the whole. And now if you're racist, not everybody thinks black men or black women. It's a whole different ball game now.
Well,
I wonder what they're more.
Even Bill
more
Maher came out and said it. Even Bill Maher said, I never thought in my life that I would be on the side of people who were so overtly racist.
Yeah. See, all the conspiracy theories that we had back in the late 60s, 70s, 80s, when we were trying to tell people that the U.S. government was trying to destroy the black nuclear family in the inner cities by taking the fathers out of the house, making abortion like a liquor store on every corner.
Was that Margaret?
Excuse me?
Was that Margaret that did that one?
Yeah.
Well, that was her plan. Yeah.
What project did she call it?
What?
What was the name of she called it the N-word project. It was,
I don't know
factual history.
But what they did was they kept trying to convince the people in the inner cities that the Democrats were doing good for them. And they kept stepping on their neck year after year after year. I think when it came to 2016, 2017, 18, up until 2020, when they realized, hey, I'm not getting any benefits out of this shit. I think it's up now. The conspiracy theories came true.
Most of the black community doesn't realize or understand that in our history that the NRA, the National Rifle Association, to be clear, was created specifically for them.
Yeah, it was to combat the Ku Klux Klan.
Yep.
But don't tell anybody that, because then you're just another right-wing conspiracy theorist.
They were giving rifles to black families who couldn't afford one of themselves, and they were saying, hey, we're going to stand with you.
In the late 1800s,
I did not know this.
The early 1900s, members of the NRA used to escort black families to the voting booth.
Yep.
Because in some places in the South, they still weren't allowed to vote. So they were
violently assaulted in the streets without protection. Yes. And law enforcement would do nothing about it.
And now the
Hey,
NRA.
do you know any backstory on the black gal on the bus that created all that? What was her name again? Rosa Parks.
Yeah, what about it?
Do you know any ties to her DNA and her parental education, etc.?
That
Rosa
that
Parks
story,
staged event.
Yeah.
yeah,
Thank you.
That wasn't
was-
it wasn't a
that
happenstance.
was stolen valor.
Thank
yeah.
you, Pete. Thank you, Pete.
That actually did happen. It actually did happen in history. It just wasn't Rosa Parks. She
It
used
wasn't
somebody
Rosa
else's
Parks,
story.
yeah.
Right.
It's just like
So
the same person.
So we Greta Thunberg our way into.
You have stolen my childhood. How
Yeah.
dare you?
There was a person who went into a restaurant and sat at the white side of the food counter and ordered lunch. But the person that they said that did that, I don't remember their name, wasn't the person who did it. It was based on an event that happened.
Right.
Interesting story. Good to copy.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
Thanks for
cares?
going back in history for me on that
Who
one.
cares about Rosa Parks? That's just a name that they throw out into the history books.
Yeah.
You know?
And see, that's the problem too. Like even now, these people that want to make the claim of racism in current America, if we're so racist, if everything's a problem, then why are you creating these events? Can we talk about events that really happened? Why are you muddying the water with garbage and bullshit if there's real issues to worry about? You know, like Smollett and all that shit. Like, oh, this is MAGA country.
Why
Sorry.
do people go ahead, Spaz?
I wanted to circle back to that, federal government thing we were talking about,
Uh-huh.
and how they. I personally think they shouldn't have so much influence or power over the decisions we make, so to speak, if you know what I mean.
Absolutely.
I think there would be a lot less turmoil if they just protected us instead of laid down the law or whatever.
Mhm.
But you know what it is kind of funny that as they're laying down the law, it's funny how you find these people out, because there was a whole bunch of them that voted against the bill to make sure only citizens vote. I guess we need to keep doing that over and over, making sure
Yeah.
that only our citizens vote, American citizens, right?
Article 2 of the Constitution.
Wow.
right.
You know,
mean
I have
it's already there.
I have someone in my chats who calls herself Just Sanguinis. Just Sanguinis. 2 words. Just Sanguinis, which means law of blood.
Yeah.
Which literally means that you need to be a bloodborne citizen of the United States to be counted as a citizen of the United States. That if you're born of a citizen family, you are a citizen, and no other shall suffice.
That'd be
the
nice.
Constitution is pretty clear on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There
That'd
was
be real nice if we had that, but I see a whole lot of fuckery going to be happening, with all these illegals and stuff, and whether or not the votes are actually getting counted, or now they have a reason or something else to point to instead of, no, we didn't cheat, we just got all these illegals, and the illegals are like, no, man, I voted for Trump.
well, I actually think that's coming.
So at least they'll still do their wizardry with their machines and late night bull fuckery, but I just think that they're gonna bounce that off of the population problem we have.
I think that there's a lot of people who are putting too much faith in undocumented people voting. They don't want nobody to even know that they're here. No less put their name, address, and everything else on a ballot that's subject to verification.
That they know is illegal.
that they know is illegal that can probably get them thrown out of the country permanently. I think people put too much credence in that.
If we're still doing that.
Yeah.
They're going to be able to do it from their free cell phone, Pete. We're in a whole new realm now.
Yeah.
Well,
So
I-
Just Sanguinis says you need the unity of Just Sully and Just Sanguinis to be a natural born citizen, which means the law of soil. You're born on the land and you're born of the land, of the people of the land.
Yeah, descendants of soil born.
Right. But that's because I have open too. I have the article, which thank you Just for that as well. But I have two different articles that are talking about this, and one of them is predicated on Article 2 of the Constitution, and that's the current finality of it.
well,
I don't know why on your ID where they put, when you die, do you want to be a donor? Why don't they put, who do you want to vote for?
My dad has asked me to please put on his headstone that I'm still not a Democrat.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's nice.
Oh wow. Yeah, Spaz, your keyboard is loud.
I'm so sorry.
Oh, it's the end of the world.
I turned the mic down. I don't know how many times.
It's all right.
The squirrels are nutty.
When Joe Biden today said that with his executive order that it's Donald Trump's fault that the Republicans didn't put the border bill through, the bipartisan border bill, that it's Donald Trump's fault.
What the
But his executive order has cut the border entries by 50%. And he was endorsed by the Customs and Border Patrol. What the fuck does that even mean? How does an executive order do that?
Okay, so here's the I think this is actually the legal explanation of what he's saying. It's like the legal foundation, and what it really means is that if full of shit were a person.
That makes sense.
The Border Patrol has come out. They did that in the debate. They come out and fact checked him in the middle of the debate and said, we have never endorsed Biden. Not only do we not endorse him, we have never endorsed him. And they all but said he's a effing retard, which I'm sure I could read that between the lines somewhere.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Well, they've been running cover for him since he first said he was going to run against Trump, and just from the basement, they've been running cover for him the whole time because he can't say anything worthwhile, meaningful, intelligent, on point. He's lost. He's so lost.
Hi, Mermaid. Thank you, Mermaid. Love you, Mermaid. It's nice to see you. But when I looked at the executive order that was supposed to do that, and this was a few weeks ago, I looked at it because he did mention it tonight in his speech. I don't see where he was telling any truth to anything. They said that the Remain in Mexico policy was unconstitutional. Yet they kept it in place for over a year. More than a year.
I thought crossing our border was unconstitutional. Can we start there?
Seeking asylum.
Well, but he's flying them in. Thank you,
Yeah,
Vanessa.
but they just changed the words. I'm afraid for the people that paid for my trip here.
I couldn't figure out with the verbiage of what he wrote and what he was referring to. Because the border bill that he's talking about would have put a little bit more than $3 billion into the Customs and Border Patrol. That was including the construction of border wall, believe it or not. But it also put close to $12 billion for Taiwan and Ukraine. And it also earmarked
Is there
another
any truth to what
3.8
Zombie
billion,
just said?
another 3.8 billion to Israel. That's why it wasn't voted on, because the bulk of the cash was going overseas and not
Right.
to the American people.
Spaz, could
Well-
you elaborate on that? What Zombie said?
I don't think so. I don't know.
Well, yeah, I seen it too, but you know me, I don't quite verify anything. I just try to coherently think about it.
You can't
Especially
make
in-
a law. You can't make a law to say you can't challenge an election. That's also in the Constitution.
Right,
State
but
law doesn't supersede federal law.
we're in the middle of a circus of fuck the Constitution.
We did this before, right, Pete? Where we're talking about it's in the Constitution, so they can't do it,
Right.
and then we tripped across a couple of logs in the road because it was things that they were still actively doing, illegal as it is, still doing
Yeah,
it.
the student loan program.
I don't ever say they
Yeah.
can't.
Yeah, and they nobody's gotten paid because it's still illegal, no matter what you do. Just think about this. Think about this real quick. Student loans all come from the government.
Yep.
Right? It's federal debt. So
Yep.
Joe Biden takes $100 billion of federal debt, wipes it clean. Okay? Donald Trump becomes president. And under the same precedent, says, what are we now, $38 billion in debt? That federal debt that we have?
Trillion, yeah.
A trillion? Bye-bye. I wiping it clean with an executive order. I don't care. China, Russia, Japan, whoever we owe the debt to, sorry about that.
Right.
Do you think that would happen? That's why in the Constitution, you cannot eliminate federal debt. But, you know, what do I know? I just read the documents. You know what I'm saying? So there's a rule for a state that says you can't supersede the Constitution.
Article 6, Clause 2.
There you go. Thank you very much. So you can write all the laws you want, but if it supersedes the Constitution, they probably already filed lawsuits against it. Now, if you go to abortion and you say, well, the federal government should be in charge of abortions, that's not true. There's nothing in the Constitution that says that. So you revert it back to the states. Let the states make their own rules. Why do you think it hasn't been overturned? Why do you think Joe Biden keeps saying, we're going to codify Roe versus Wade in my next election? Why not do it right now?
Here's the thing about it, though. The distinction between case law and legislation. Congress has created no legislation, and if they did, it would be held up in courts for years before it was ever ratified.
Boom.
But good morning.
Is that what you were waving at, Spaz?
But
No, I was asking you to calm down. You were like yelling in a mic, and I just want you to
Okay.
the voice me. Yeah, just
Got you. Thank you.
sorry.
The Democrats keep it, and this has been the misconception. This shows you really how ignorant these people are to the laws that they're in charge of. Because you would think, if you're Congress and your job is, literally legislation, you would understand how law works. And these guys for my God, how many years now? It feels like 1,000 have been trying to establish a case ruling as somehow a legislative law. and that's what they keep referring to. We're gonna take a case ruling, a Supreme Court ruling, which can be struck down at any point if standing an argument is brought, and they're trying to establish in their own minds that, oh well, you can't take it down ever, and it's like, well, we just did.
Yep.
And until you legislate something, at the congressional / federal level, then it goes back to the decision of the states. And furthermore, if we look at even like this issue with marijuana, even though it was legislated at the federal level, it can still be challenged and pulled down by the states, through legal process, which what we've been going through has been kind of a, haphazard, bastardized version, but we are finding our way through it. Not that I necessarily agree with it, but here we are.
But I also think that this is where the huge conflict is between the federal government and the people, because the people are starting to realize how much of a wide berth the federal government is taking and how much power that they're drawing away from the states, that the people of the states are starting to realize it. And go ahead.
Well, the reason for the short terms and the Senate and Congress was supposed to be, these bodies were supposed to be closest to the people. They were never meant for these same people to hold on to, lifelong, repeat terms, these installment terms. And that's the reason for the disconnection from the people is and quite honestly, my personal feeling is everybody talks about term limits and they say, well, everybody should get 2 terms at the most. I would do 1 term. You get 1 term, you get 1 shot, do what you can and get out.
I would be okay with that. I think 2 terms would be better. Because sometimes a little bit longer helps. 2 4-year terms. This way, every 8 years, everything is refreshed. I think that's the way I would do it.
If elections were fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
yes, what he said. That
right
part.
now, what you have now is everything that they're saying that Donald Trump is, an authoritarian, a dictator, whatever. This is what these people are. I mean, the House of Representatives impeached Alejandro Mayorkas, and it went to the Senate for a trial. And the person that's in the Senate that's been there since 1981 decided that he didn't want to prosecute or have a trial on the impeachment. So he negated all of those people's votes. One man. That's not how it's supposed to work. That's not how it's supposed to work. But this is the
why
problem.
I believe.
Yeah.
I believe that members of Congress should be allowed to call each other out in the parking lot.
No, I'm all for civil discourse, all for it. But you have to start calling them out for not adhering to the Constitution. It's just like the other day I said, if Joe Biden steps down and Kamala Harris is sworn in as the president, not as acting president, but the president, that means you would have the entire executive branch as unelected bureaucrats making decisions for you. Not what the people want.
I don't like the gray areas that are thrown into a law. Anything that leaves something open for abuse should be out of it. We need common sense, English speaking, easy to understand legislation. No matter how much of it there has to be, I don't care if you have to make a law that if you run a stop sign in a desert, the fine is different than when you run a stop sign in a school district. Make two laws, be specific. But
Elements.
now we live in a day of you're going to have to open it and read it to find out what's in it. This is we can't survive. We can't sustain peace and prosperity and the pursuit of happiness with this kind of mental fuckery going on constantly in our.
The reality is as long as we have chaos undermines everything. If we do everything in an orderly fashion, in a timely fashion, then nobody can hide the fuckery.
Yeah,
I want to hear something.
Why?
I want to hear what Warrior in the Garden has to say.
I would love to hear that. Thank you, Mermit. Thank you.
Give me a question, because I kind of came in halfway through the conversation here.
Oh, I thought we were sweeping the leg.
Yeah.
Oh, well, we're always sweeping the leg.
On the election and the results and the integrity and the attack and the
I think we're just talking about moving forward and what it would be if it were done right.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing. It has to be done right first. We have to be able to clean up our voter roll registrations. We have to be able to know who's on there first. We have to make sure the people that are in our local communities are proper America First individuals, people who adhere to the Constitution. Because as far as I'm concerned, that's the only law of the land that we really need to adhere to. If everybody understood the Constitution, we don't need any other laws additional. We can govern ourselves enough, and as a society, I think we'd be able to those individuals who are on the outskirts of society, leave them there, let them do whatever they want to do until they start affecting everybody else. Because you're not going to be able to get everybody on the board with the same thing, same page, same paragraph, letter, everything else. But you're going to have a generality. And I think the Constitution lays a pretty decent base on that of how to treat people and how the government should operate, and then what the responsibilities of the people of the people when the government decides it wants to outstep those bounds a little bit. But it comes down to the individuals coalescing together, as Rev always says, working together, being knowledgeable. And I keep saying we need to educate. But that again, that's going to come down to the individual. If they want to be educated on the facts, if they are willing to take what they've been force fed for their entire lives and put that on a hold, and then actually question everything from when they first got into school and everything all the inputs of their life. But that's a big hurdle for a lot of people to get over. And I honestly, I don't think it's going to work unless that type of stuff happens. Unless, for example, Trump loses in 2024. That should open up a lot of people's eyes on the corruption, the amount of corruption, and how widespread it really is.
Mm-hmm.
I just came from a meeting today about human trafficking. I had no idea human trafficking was way more intricate and more interwoven with our society than it is right now. So that's part of peeling back those layers of the onion, really, to get down to the core. It's like for an artichoke, you keep going an artichoke. Eventually, you're just going to come down to one little leaf of an artichoke, which is what started it, the whole thing. So that's where I come from. Is we understand there's a problem. Correct. Now, the next step, I think, is to whatever XYZ problem is to disregard all notions of it and then start from fresh as if you know nothing, but always ask questions. Use the Socratic method and ask questions every step of the way. And then once you start doing that, then that's when the true education comes through, because you as an individual, you start questioning what is right, what is wrong, what are my rights, what's the role of the government, what's the role of our citizens. As a citizen, what notions do I have, and what power do I have as a citizen to combat this? Now, it's not the individual citizen. I think it's collectively we have the power to do so. But collectively is the problem. Because we're not all collective. We're not all on the same, even on the same boat, really, when it comes to this kind of stuff. You know, you are, I am, people on the panel here, probably most people in the chat here, but we're talking about the average Joe Blow who works a 9 to 5, then goes to the bar for a couple hours at night to go buzz on, and goes home. You know, that's the person we have to. Those are the individuals that we have to identify. Try to, and that's the hard part, is how do you approach someone like that, though? It's like, how do you approach? Like, hey man, do you like constitutionally? Like, do you understand what your government is fucking you over about? Do you understand that? I mean, like, how do you start that conversation? That's the important part, is trying to start the conversation, and then let.
Hey, Warrior, I'm seeing that they're all becoming interested. It's overwhelming.
I'm glad more people are becoming more interested. But, you know, I suppose better late than never. And most situations.
And the most of them that I'm seeing is, you know, because I get on the interwebs every now and then. I'm seeing that the people that are like, no, that doesn't involve me. I'm doing X, Y, and Z. I don't have time for that. Now that it's in their home, in their truck, in their family.
Well, the only reason why it's in their homes, their trucks, or their family is because we've allowed that to penetrate that far into our lives. We allow the government to penetrate so far into our private sectors. Go ahead, Spaz.
I have one question. Who enforces the Constitution?
I've been trying to answer that, Spaz.
Nobody.
Isn't that our job?
So it's we, the people.
I think that we as individuals, like
he asked who enforces it, not who's supposed to enforce it.
Clearly, we the people.
That I think we as individuals, like Warrior is saying, have to figure out a way to start that conversation with people.
We the people
to say, hey,
the United States of America, in order to form a more perfect union.
Yep, that's our job.
And we were given the right to do so, and they called it an unalienable, you know, because if somebody's trying to hamper down on your unalienable God-given rights, then here is this set of tools you have, and nobody can ever try and take those tools away from you ever. That's called infringe. And then, so here you go. When the time comes, this is your job. So are we to look at our leaders and say you're failing us, or are we to look at ourselves and say we are failing ourselves?
That one. Yes. I would say that we have to change right to responsibility. We don't have the right, we have the responsibility.
Yeah, you want a better world, start at home and make it.
That's it.
How's that working out?
For me, it's going a lot better. It actually is. My world is better all the time.
Wow.
Could I say something to the chat, please?
No.
Please.
I just want to say thank you to Black Mamba for the Venmo. That comment was really funny. But thank you. She sent me a Venmo.
Well,
and thank you guys for the pills, Spaz. The ship with that question in it. I've been trying to answer the question, but I was waiting for everybody to finish. So
it's a 2-tiered podcast. You know,
it's
trying to snake my way in there.
It's very complicated issues we're talking about here, but
important nonetheless.
I believe that Warrior is right, and well, basically everybody who answered that question is right. Is that responsibility falls back to us. And the problem is that we, the people, have gotten lazy and complacent. And that's how these people have been in power for 50, 60 years, is that we're allowing that to happen because we've been complacent.
There's a lot of clickbait going on out there. I mean, the not necessarily clickbait, but the dopamine effect, the adrenaline rush of I'm going to take a stand and I'm going to tell this cop that pulled me over that I know my rights, and I'm going to tell it to him, and I'm going to poke my finger like this at him, and I'm going to be disrespectful, even though I'm legally within my right to do so. I'm, there's.
Oh, I watch it all the time.
It's bad. See, when people are waking up and they're getting mad and they know and they realize that, hey, this isn't going to stop unless I get involved, then we need to find that balance between, Joe Blow, I'm going to batter that cop who's out here afraid for his life every day, and his wife may not see him tonight.
Oh, that's a crock of shit, bro. Sorry about that. I worked in law enforcement for a long time, and I can tell you something right now. Most cops are fucking assholes. Okay?
Well, that explains a lot already.
It's a coping mechanism. It's a coping mechanism.
Okay,
I'm not disagreeing you, but I'll use your words. Most.
That's right. As soon as they get that piece of bronze on their chest, they think that there's some sort of I can do whatever the fuck I want, and that ain't the fucking case.
No, I've even jokingly told an angry cop at a party as a kid. I was in my teens, and he says, "Do you know what this means?" And he's pointing at his badge, and I said, "That 5th grade was harder on you than it was for me."
I've been never laughed.
No, I'm not disagreeing that.
When a police officer comes up to you when you're not committing a crime and says, "I can detain you, I can question you, I can handcuff you for no fucking reason," I'm gonna be rude to that guy. Okay, because he's breaking the law. Just because he enforces it doesn't mean he can break it. He's not the exception too. He is the law.
I was just trying to point out that a lot of people that are out there doing this hoorah shit is, find some balance and get with other people, and don't be afraid to have somebody else lead if you think you're out of place. If you're out of your element, don't be a leader. If you're the one, strapping up an AK to go down to City Hall and state your piece, then you probably shouldn't attend that meeting.
Is it legal? Am I allowed to carry a firearm?
We could walk hand in hand down this argument for a long time, Pete. Legal and common sense are often two different things.
Nope.
I know where they meet.
Where?
You don't need police if everybody is armed.
Yeah.
That is what this guy said.
I agree with that.
The original implication of law enforcement was literally to be referees after the fact.
Yeah. Like I said,
it was supposed to be our responsibility.
They're not proactive, they're reactive.
Yes.
Yeah.
Every
encounter I've ever had, it's like in a common case scenario of getting pulled over. I leave my window where it's at. I don't reach to do all this stuff. And I keep my hands at the 10 and 2. And he comes up and taps on the window, and I show him my hand, and I start rolling the window down. And then I put my hand back up there, and he says, "Can I see your license and registration?" I says, "All right, I'm just going to reach in the glove box and grab it now." And I move my arm slowly, and I'm respectful and nice. And I have never had the experiences that people that say most cops are assholes have had. I haven't bumped into that because I got lucky and had older brothers that were cocky in their adventures, and so I never had to deal with that.
I ask them not to rape me when they pull me over.
That's probably a good thing.
That's one of my first things. Don't shoot.
You know how much? No. You know how much it throws them off. Like they come in, especially some of these asshole cops that come in with this mindset. They're ready to be the asshole, and you say, "Don't rape me," and they're like, "What? Hold on a minute," and it sidesteps the whole thing.
Yeah. Or if you ask somebody if they have a nuclear weapon.
Yeah.
Officer, the safety word is Oklahoma.
I'm going to put my hands in your back pocket. You don't have anything that's going to stick me. like a needle or knife or a nuclear weapon, right? And they just kind of give you that side look. What did you just say?
A nuclear
Hey,
weapon.
hey, Pete.
He just
It
said
was just a
weapon.
It was just a few days ago. I went down to or about a week ago, I went down to the police station to inquire about what it is within their legal, legal, what they can do in helping a loved one that's on a drug and like civil drive-by, whatever. And he had his rookie standing next to him like this with his chest puffed out and his legs spread like he's some Billy Badass. And I didn't say shit, Yeah. I come back the next day and I found that rookie and I told him, I said that, remember when we were standing in here and you were doing this right here, this intimidating head honcho look? That's not a good look. And I don't like paying for it. You're intimidating people with that. Could you try something different? And he was polite. He says, thanks for telling me. I'll do that. So I was like, okay.
Yeah. But you see, I worked with a lot of these people.
Oh, I trust you. 100% I do.
And from the locker room to the street, they were assholes.
Okay.
And then from the street to the locker room, they were assholes. And
Yeah,
after a while, this is what they do, is this is how they get their rocks off.
Yep.
Yeah,
A lot of bullies are attracted to law
A
enforcement.
lot of bullies. People who they didn't get their way in high school or they didn't get laid in college, become cops so they can assert their authority over people.
That's pretty much a correct stereotype. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I don't
And
disagree.
unless they're in the courtroom and there was some sort of violent altercation or even a firearm discharge, and then it was, oh my god, I was so afraid, I was so scared for myself, I had to shoot him 260 million times.
Yeah, that's shit. Yeah, that's great. Okay, so speaking from somebody who actually was a police officer, I was an MP 31 Bravo, and we didn't in our unit we didn't allow people to be Billy Badasses, to be bullies or whatever. It's like you have a responsibility for the protection of the base. That's it. And I also worked with civilian cops a lot. Some of them, absolutely. Some of them are total dickheads, total assholes, and they are in it for the power trip solely, and you can tell. But for the ones that I had encounter with, and the police officers that I've encountered with, I don't know, it's because I'm white or what it is, but I have encountered a few privately, like on the civilian side, a couple asshole cops, and one real cunt of a female cop. But the vast majority of them that I've encountered with are they have a hard job. Their job isn't exactly easy to do, let alone if they have to wonder at every call if they're going to make it home after that call. Can they take that can they unstrap that Velcro off their vest? Can their loved one hear that of the vest coming off as they're in the house safely? So what Salty was saying is when I've encountered those shitty cops, if you just treat them with like no sir, yes sir, put your hands where you're supposed to and you just comply. I mean, it's not that hard to comply to simple keep your hands where I can see you. Okay, sure, no problem. We're a license registration. Okay, sure, I'm gonna grab it. It's in my pocket. It's in my left. I have to dig for it. So just let you know, I'm not gonna do anything. I'm just gonna dig for my wallet. So you dig for your wallet. You show it to them. You put your hands where they can see. You go through your wallet. Okay, here's my card. My registration's in my glove compartment. You reach your glove compartment, pull out your paper. Here it is. Then you get your ticket and you move on. If you want to, my advice is if don't sit there and go, well, my constitutional right says I can travel without business and I don't need to have a driver's license, yada, 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 all that bullshit. That's not the place to do it. On the side of the road is not the place to have that conversation, to be honest. You can have that conversation in court of law or with a lawyer. To be honest, that's the safest way to
Well,
remove yourself from that situation
some of
is to
the-
comply, and then on the backside, make sure you record it all. Okay, so you,
Yeah.
you record all your live. If even better, if you can live stream it, that's even harder. And you notify the cops, hey, just officer, let you know my phone's on and I'm live streaming our conversation, just to let you know.
Hold on, check that
So-
in states, because like here in the state of Florida, the Supreme Court has already ruled that no law enforcement officer while on duty has the right or the expectation of privacy. You don't have to notify them. So in
Right.
your state, check, because some states are different on this law. But like if you're here in Florida, you do not have to notify them, and everything that you record and or transmit is admissible in court. And I know this because I've done it.
So another thing too, people, is once you notify them that you're recording them, they're conducting official business. And once they start conducting official police officer business, then they are under your tax dollar, and you are now paying them. They are now gainfully employed in their trade. So you have I think, like Rev said, make sure you check your states. But as soon as you identify that you are recording them, and you let you know that, hey, during your official business here, I want to make sure that we're both on the up and up for our safeties. You make it a concern where you're also concerned about their safety too, because who knows, on the side of the road you could have some jagoff just plow into them, and your phone just may so happen to grab that license plate. I've seen those videos. I'm sure you guys have seen those videos too. Some trooper on the side of the interstate all of a sudden just crashes in, and the guy escapes the crash out of the skin of his teeth, and all that kind of stuff. But when it comes to normal interaction with the cops, first of all, don't do anything that's going to require the cops to come around. All right, first of all, just be smart about, if you're going to break the law, be smart. All right, just be smart about it.
Unless you're like me and you like to piss off dirty cops, and then if you're going to do that, be prepared.
Yes, and recognize that there are dirty cops, but also recognize that they have a very hard job, and they don't get paid a lot for it, and they ultimately want to go home as well. That's the thing. They're people too, even though if they're total dickheads, they are individuals, and if the thing is that when the first 30 seconds of your interaction with the police officer, you can immediately tell if that person is going to be reasonable or if they're going to be a dickhead about things. So if they're going to be reasonable, maybe throw in a joke. If it's pertaining to it, whatever, kind of lighten the mood a little bit, but be friendly, be respectful. But as soon as you recognize the cop is going to be a dickhead, yes, sir. No, sir. Okay. I'm reaching for my license. I'm reaching for my this, because that person, remember, people, cops are the ones that bring a firearm to every stop, to every investigation, to everything. Okay. So they're already armed. They're already trained, and they're already on edge. There's no need. No need to get these people riled up even more than they already are. Honestly,
leave the adrenaline. What I was trying to say when you started this, Pete, is I think we should pull the. No, I meant on this shifting of topic of how it is we're gonna, since we don't trust the people up top making our decisions.
Yeah,
so I want to get a quick clarification in real quick. I just feel like I need to make too. I just real quick, I'm sorry. I want everybody to understand that there is a distinction. Just because a cop is being an asshole doesn't mean that he's a dirty cop. There is a distinction.
No.
Some cops are just assholes. I want to clarify that, because even if somebody is a Leo and they're just a dick, that doesn't mean they're dirty, and it doesn't mean you get to accuse them of being dirty.
No, I never.
Everything Warrior is saying. Yeah, everything Warrior is saying is right.
Yeah.
It's better to challenge them in the courtroom than it is on the side of the street, but also understand the distinction. Now, for me, the dirty cops that I've dealt with, I've run a few of them out of their jobs because that's my thing. I hate dirty cops. But do your homework and understand the distinction. Don't make assumptions. That's all.
No, you're right. You're absolutely right. And it's also like Warrior said, is that some of these people are assholes because they want to go home at the end of the night. And I completely understand that.
Like LA cops totally understand why they have such a bad attitude, because it's a numbers thing. If you think about it, it's
Yeah.
how many people, say 10,000 people per cop, perhaps,
Well, it's more than
maybe
that.
20,000, 30, whatever it is.
Probably
I mean,
20 or 30.
the ratio is extremely outweighed.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so there is a lot of pressure even on rookies who are they have a veteran, a veteran for 5 years is their first person in, and then you wonder why you see a lot of these cop videos with the veteran taking money on the side and shit like that. That stuff really happens.
Yeah, it does.
That's why they show it. And that's how they got the stories, is because those stories were written from cops in prison for hopefully to get some kind of movie deal.
Mhm.
Every movie every cop movie series, whatever is out there, there are elements of truth within it, especially smaller towns that have generations of families in the police department or the sheriff department
Yeah.
and all that kind of stuff. I mean, it can get real country bumpkin, good old boy style, or it can be real laid back. Like just Josie said, there's a rookie makes $100,000 a year. Like, holy crap! Like,
Really?
Well,
where
it
do
depends on-
where do you
but-
live?
Yeah, that depends on where you're at, because they don't do that here.
Yeah, definitely not here in Missouri
Yeah,
either.
not
But
here.
I'm just saying, it's like if you live in an area where cops are making $100,000 a year, do you really think that those cops are going to have to deal with getting shot, is having a cup of coffee in their squad car? Probably not. Probably
Yeah.
not, because the demographics don't display that.
Yeah.
But anyways, so
Okay. All right, go ahead, Salty. Say go about whoever.
Oh, okay. Let me see if I can remember where I was at. Yeah, the level of adrenaline or testosterone or a combination of both should definitely be kept in check, and it ties along with the psyche of sitting around watching all these gotchas and the government's doing all this and Bill Gates' mosquitoes and all this horrific shit that we're watching all day. It's a proven fact that if you sit there and dwell on all of your problems, you're going to fall into a state of depression. So that when you're put on the spot and you have to act, there's not a rational act that you can expect to happen. So as far as getting your rights back, running the country, living in the country that you want to have a say in, this isn't going to be formed by all of this circle jerk and watching this fear porn, staying depressed, getting mad, because by the time you shake hands with a politician out in the streets, you're going to just fucking throttle him. And so you're a danger to the rest of society. So I think we're getting to a more level-headed, coalescing discussion point in our timeline where we're, like us on the panel right now, we're talking about what do things look like in the near future. If this, then that. We're going through these hypothetical things about tomorrow. We're not talking too much about yesterday or today. We're talking about what's going on tomorrow. And I urge everybody to be very careful when doing that. You're not a leader. You're not the this isn't fucking Rambo. So, put your wood chipper away, get some common sense.
Or
And
redefine
use a
what
little
leader
love and
is.
delicacy with your thoughts. It only takes so long. If you got a problem, there's a solution for that problem, and it only takes you about 3/4 of a second to figure that shit out. You spend
Sometimes
any
more
longer,
than one.
if you want to recheck it and map it out, then you're at about 5 seconds, in your brain. That's a pretty fast machine up there. You don't need all day, all night, all week, all month to sit here and fucking dwell on it. There's other things to do. I urge everybody to take a break away from the problems, get out, go get some sun or whatever. But this coming together part, I see it as the only way. We will collectively, like right now, all 5 of us have a very, very similar look as to what things should be like. And we're also having common discussions of what we can do to get them there and how that looks. So we're not alone. Thousands of other channels are doing this right now,
And-
fucking now.
And we would stand together. We already know we would. All 5 of us. Don't forget that.
Yep.
Of course.
We would.
That's all I really wanted to say.
Gotcha. Well, I also agree with Warrior when he says that anything that does have to happen has to start at the local level. Absolutely 100% at the local level first
That-
before it goes anywhere else.
Yep.
Especially with education, educating people. A lot of the stuff that we do, writing letters to our congressmen or our senators, they get no traction because we're not, big enough
Right.
to get to those people. But if we start going to the local meetings and places that people gather and make our
Absolutely.
voices known, yeah, I think that's an effective way to start. It's just
Kind
the
of like
fact
what
of,
I did with that police officer thing where you state your preference, as a taxpayer. I'd prefer you not do this anymore. It's a small thing, but it's along the line with what you're saying.
yeah, no, that's
Yeah.
exactly right.
It's
You're
true.
starting at the local level.
Mhm.
Instead of going to his superior or whatever, you went right to the person, which is the right thing to do.
Yep.
I think.
And when he says local level, that equals people or people who you should know.
Yeah.
And they should know you
Yeah,
too.
it starts with your street, your neighbors, your immediate neighbors, your block, your block manager, your neighborhood organization. We're part of a neighborhood email list for our neighborhood, and we listen to it, and if we see any suspicious activities, some of that my girlfriend, she gets on and she blasts out an email to everybody real quick, and
We have a website.
similar. Yeah, everybody has. Most people have a something like that. Especially with, the see something, say something. When we had that back in 2001, with the Twin Tower stuff, all that kind of
terrorism
jazz.
stuff.
Yep. So, there's really, if you break it down, when you're local crime to actual terrorists, there's no difference between the two because they're both terrorizing a group of people. They're
Yeah.
both putting fear in innocent people's hearts where it shouldn't exist at all. For the mere fact that the individual has an idea in their head and they want to go forth with that idea. I think it's block parties. Yeah, see, no vax. Have a block party. That's a good idea. When the weather gets cooler wherever you're at, set a Saturday and invite the neighbors over for a barbecue. So put flyers on their door or in their mailbox and say, "Hey, I'm putting a potluck together, and I want you guys to here's a list of stuff that needs to be brought. Bring it and let's have a conversation." Go ahead, Spaz. What's up, buddy?
You can't put them on the mailbox. That's a federal law.
Okay.
In the mailbox, not on the mailbox. In the mailbox.
Hey, it pays to know shit.
That's true.
Yeah, it's
How about a day in the life of the Spaz, right?
Here we go.
Because I had spent at least 2 hours of my time able to at least penetrate or try to red pill another human being, right? Just doing the work that I do. And while I was doing that, I experienced the neighborhood I was working in. They were actively engaged with the other people across the street. They were watching over their kids. They were watching who's driving up and down the road. They're
So you're
watching
seeing it?
who's standing on the corner. And they're actively voicing it, and they're crossing the street and they're
How long ago was this?
This was today. This was today in the city of Easton.
Yes.
And I'm working and
That's awesome.
I don't know what the fuck is coming out of this goddamn screen. I keep coming home and burying myself in the basement and watching every day, but it doesn't reflect what I'm seeing out in the real world where I'm doing things, and people are still subject to this delusional daydream, like everything that should matter regurgitates and comes out of these black boxes, these monoliths tilted sideways, right? And I got plenty of them. And it's outrageous to me. And I don't understand how people don't see this. And then I think, that there are people who don't get out, who don't, take a hammer and a pry bar to their community and reconstruct it every day, make it anew. So a lot of times things get old, they get decrepit, they're failing, and that's your community. Those are the houses you've been living in since 1802 and shit. Because we got a lot of that going on here. Old house wiring, you're trying to run 3 AC, sweetheart. This stuff didn't work back then, and when it was built, and it's we're constantly fucking hammer and nail, pry bar, rip it down, make it new, make it better, right?
I'm glad you got to see that.
And
that's exciting to hear that you got to experience that, because that's embedded in everybody, is to naturally rebuild out of kindness. It's not out of kindness and necessity.
Mm-hmm. It's like
we
I
all
don't
have
have
it.
that here. It's like I don't have that here. I live like less than 30 minutes away. I don't have that here. And it's strange. It's real strange, man. Because it's like, maybe I should move up here. Not like I need anybody to know me, but I'm not afraid to be known. And this is how we get to be who we are. We all live on the same block. But when I was packing up my shit after sweeping, the guy that came out of the house, he was sweeping up after me. It's like I didn't even do a good enough job. What the fuck? But that's okay. That's your shit. That's your house. You've been watching kids all day, and they had the little girl riding down the street, and I couldn't even see her. She was behind a car, but we all know she fell down. And I'll fucking tell you what, that whole neighborhood, everybody that was outside was asking if she was okay, and it's amazing. And it's like maybe I should move a few towns over. I don't know, man. It's just, I don't see it. I look at this. I come home, I look at this, and it doesn't always make sense. And tell me I've changed the way I thought about it as many times as I could possibly withstand.
So are you
To try to
saying
figure it out? And
to see the world, you have to leave your home?
no. Well, yeah,
Yes.
maybe, perhaps. I mean,
Get
I don't know
out of
if I can
here.
pull this-
I'm serious. You have to go out the front door sometime.
I can't just look out my windows and see the world go by. I have to actually engage in it and then and point out the evils and try to do something about it.
Wait. You're saying
Jake,
you're saying what comes
Is that
off my
world?
screen is not real?
Boom.
it's not real.
Boom.
Look, I am like a clinical paranoid schizophrenic. I carry enough sharp knives. I should
hold on.
when I fall, I should be dead.
I got pills for that.
Right, but you just know that I use knives every day, just not on people. You know what I'm saying? It's just like and we try to roll it in a ball and we try to smooth the surface, and I'm just flying through the air, feeling the wind, and the least I could do is not be pissed off all the time and
Go ahead,
just
Rev.
love the people around me. Yeah, there you go. Move to the next town over.
Rev, you were
Oh my God.
saying?
Mr.
No,
Ranch,
I was just saying. You mean what we see on these screens isn't real?
I don't know. It's here. It's right here. It's really
Yeah.
right here.
Well, because too, like, and this is something I pointed out a bunch of times on my show is while the media is trying to tell us all about racism, the racism is horrible. Everybody's being oppressed. Even the oppressors are being oppressed now. That's how oppressing it is. And yet, when I go to the gas station, I talk to all my friends when they go to the gas station early ass in the morning, and everybody's still got sleep in their eye and they're still got bedhead, and you got to get your Monster, your Red Bull, or your 5-gallon bucket of coffee and get fuel and everything else you got to do so you can mope your sorry ass to work every morning. everybody's standing in line. It's all multiracial, multicultural, whatever, especially here where I live. And everybody has the same pissed off, mopey ass look. And everybody still looks at each other like, yeah, brother, I feel your pain because I'm doing it too.
So each
No,
racial joke that I get, each black joke I get, I call the first guy I call with it is Red Pill Ken, and the Jew jokes, Batman, for always. They're the first ones to hear them, and
I knew I was going to hear it.
they laugh.
Of course.
I knew I was going to hear it.
Yeah, so racism isn't really a thing. Never really was.
No, because I can't tell you how many people make Italian jokes to me. I'm a full-blooded Italian.
About the tire going wop, wop,
Wop,
wop.
wop, wop. Yep, exactly.
I always feel bad for the Polacks personally.
Yeah. And like
So-
my brother's name. My brother's name is Antonio. And one of the jokes we would say is, why when the Italians came to Ellis Island, they had their name on their forehead, Tony. Because that's what we call my brother, Tony. And it's like, no, it wasn't to say his name is Tony. It said, to New York.
Antonio.
But here's the bigger point with what I'm saying. I think we're seeing a time now, and this is part of the silver lining side of all this garbage that's going on is that just the same as on the the media and these retards and politics saying, oh my God, everybody's had it, has never had it better than we have it right now, and all of America's looking at them like, are you kidding me?
Nuts?
Yeah, but now everybody's starting to see the difference, because before it wasn't so drastic, but now everybody's waking up to the difference, to the bullshit, the level of warm, steamy manure that they're shoveling on TV versus the reality of what's going on around us.
Yep.
I think October is going to be bird flu. Write it down. This is Salty's prediction, and we're not
You mean
going to be
election flu?
coalesced. The people are not going to be coalesced, united, and in a calm, productive manner until 2028. That's my prediction. So, in the meantime, get you some sun.
Yep.
Go do the things, and let everything else do their thing. Yeah, October, bird flu, boom.
Well, that
Right.
messes
How
up
do
my
you
birthday
do that
altogether.
again, Warrior? How do you do your boom?
Boom.
There you go.
Boom. Boom.
Well, this is for Warrior. You didn't get to do that at the beginning of the show.
No, I didn't. I missed it.
Yeah, that was too
You're
bad.
grounded, young man. You know what? Just for that, Warrior, I am going to personally have Jim Jordan write you a strongly worded letter.
That's
I would
right.
love to have a strongly worded letter, and I would actually more appreciate if he was, while he was reading the letter, he would send me a video of it shaking his finger at me.
Sternly.
Both of them.
Sternly. Got to do
That
it
would just
sternly.
get me right in the
give you a-
feels, and
yeah,
I
it'll give you
know
a
that a
stern
politician
talking
cares
to,
about me.
I
A stern
agree.
talking to will fix everything. That'll show you.
That's
agree.
right.
Yeah.
That's right. Grab him by the
And-
back of the arm, right here. Right above the armpit. Just grab him and pitch really hard. It'll cure
Ooh.
anything.
And he may have to
Anything.
reaffirm that with a stern affirmation.
Yes.
Yeah, right. Do you understand what I'm saying? Do you?
So is the consensus now that Joe Biden is too senile to be impeached?
I thought that was proven by his DOJ.
That's what I'm saying. He can't be criminally charged. So is he too retarded now to be impeached also, or is that what Jim Jordan's excuse is now?
I don't know if I'm ready for him to go yet. We've got a good stock of memes. Are we really done with him? I mean, have we got enough?
Hey, let me tell you something.
Bo?
I can't afford this shit. I can't afford it. I'd be perfectly honest with you. Mrs. PTP is like the sale queen. If it is not on sale, she's not buying it. If there's not a coupon, we're not getting fast food. We can't afford none of this shit. Our rent has gone up. Mortgages have gone up here in California. They're doing everything that they can to kill us. And it's
they're
just
getting ready to
horrible.
jack
Are you-
insurance by 50%.
Do you use T-Mobile, Pete?
No.
I got $10 a month, unlimited everything.
Thank you,
Fine.
Warrior. And Spaz.
Damn,
You are welcome.
10 what now?
$10 a month and unlimited everything on T-Mobile.
Okay.
$10 a month. Anybody can get it. They just don't call in and you have to say, well, I was shopping around because it's Bidenomics and I found this other service out here with this other company and
Thank you,
they're down
Spaz.
to this much a month. And I just thought I'd call and check and see if you had anything before I bail out.
Mhm.
And oh, yes, sir. Hold on one moment, sir. They don't want to lose you. They
Of
don't
course
care if
not.
it's only $1 a month, as long as they're the ones getting it, not somebody
Yeah.
else.
All I'm saying is that there are policies that can be put in place that this administration is not putting in place.
No, I see the checkmate problem, Pete, and I feel
Yeah.
for it for people that are stuck in it.
Yeah.
But checkmate, the end of that chapter looks what I fear, and from what I've seen coming, doesn't look as good as what we are at right now. When it's all done and said, and 2028 rolls around, if we get there, but before, what I'm saying is it could come sooner, but there's going to be some serious vice grips clamping down on people as far as economics go.
yeah.
We haven't seen shit yet. That's my honest, opinion on it. And looking at things, they test the waters every now and then. How much can we get to this GoFundMe shit of this ludicrous, and Americans are just pouring out the shit. You think they're not watching? They know we're not empty yet. Let me go. I'm gonna mute my mic and go shut the dogs up and kiss the wife.
Okay.
I think too that even getting Trump back in,
It's better than
Hey, we
shutting the dogs up and not kissing the wife.
if
I'm sorry. go ahead.
if we get a hold of everything, say we get a super majority of Congress, the Senate, we get Trump back in, all of that, and everything is like completely tilted in our favor. There's still so much more economic repercussions coming our way that I think it's gonna take a lot more than just a reversal of some policies to straighten us out economically.
The first thing that needs to happen is the Biden administration is saying that they're pumping more oil out of the ground than the Trump administration did. That's a flat out lie because
Yeah.
the U.S. government doesn't pump anything out of the ground,
Yeah.
right? The companies that do the pumping are the ones that set the prices.
Yeah.
So if you keep putting restrictions on the companies that they can only drill in certain areas, the prices stay high because they need to make their profits.
Right.
So by the government saying we don't control the gas prices is a straight up lie because they're the ones through the EPA that control where can be drilled and where can't be drilled.
And what was that Supreme Court decision a couple of weeks ago?
The Chevron decision.
Ooh,
Yes.
does that have an effect on that EPA?
Absolutely.
bullshit?
Absolutely.
Ooh.
And now the reason why your food prices are going through the roof because every kernel of corn delivered to a grocery store is delivered with diesel fuel. And fuel costs are ridiculous. So they have to raise their food prices to cover their delivery charges, their fuel charges. I mean,
Yeah.
so it's a vicious circle, and for the government to say, "Well, we control when the prices go down, but we don't control when the prices go up," it's a flat out lie,
Bullshit.
and that's Biden's and what is there, Jean-Claude Van Damme there, the gay black lesbian.
Black
person.
Raggedy Ann.
Yeah, that one. She keeps saying that over and over again. And it's just not the truth.
That's her position.
That's her position, but her position is a fabrication.
She is the moat that surrounds the castle of the Biden administration.
Well, she's full of
It's
shit.
not a very good moat. Is it full of
The-
water
the-
or sand?
Who knows?
The moat is full of shit. I'm
Yeah.
just saying.
It's full of shit.
And why did they
Can I
put
read off a
moats?
chat?
What?
On a funny note, Mo Phillips says, "Here's a thought from nowhere. Spaz is so cool he can do a wheelie on a unicycle." And it reminded me, as a kid, I had a unicycle,
That's true.
and I had a pair of handlebars that were in the backyard, and I grabbed them and I went riding my unicycle with just a pair of handlebars in my hands. So yeah, we can do wheelies on
Now,
unicycles.
One time I tried riding a unicycle and I did a wheelie on a unicycle, but it meant because I was on my ass and I was holding the unicycle up in the air.
Right,
Yeah.
with your legs. That'd be me on my back,
Yeah.
unicycle on my face.
I used to
Ow.
ride one. I had to get up on top of my stepdad's work van to get onto the seat. It was really, really tall.
I didn't. I had a rock.
I had a rock to play with.
Did you
Yeah,
pet
That was
it?
my best friend.
If I
I
was
had a-
lucky, I had a potato.
Shit, I had a box
pet?
of rocks.
Did you pet the rock?
Yeah.
Well,
It was a
any
pet
rock you
Paint
can
a-
keep is special. I'm just saying.
Yes.
Paint a face on it.
Well, you guys had fancy stuff. I had a rock or a potato.
Paint a face on it.
Hey, Latanya is asking us if we would say hi to grandson Damon. Hi,
Latanya?
Damon.
Hi,
Hello,
How you doing,
David.
buddy? How you
Damon.
doing? How you doing?
You
Damon,
better-
what up, dude?
you
What's
better
up, Dave?
listen to your grandma.
Yeah, listen.
That's
If you
right.
listen to anybody, listen to your grandma.
Yep.
All right? She
Yes.
knows what she's talking about, no matter how crazy it sounds. She understands everything. She's been there and done that 1,000 times. Listen to grandmama.
Hey, actually, Damon, don't do everything that grandma does because she watches my show.
no, it's fine. She's fine. She knows what not to do.
Yep.
Yeah, don't let him watch my show.
Yeah,
Jesus.
don't let him. No. He's
Okay,
that's
hold
definitely an 18-year-old show.
Okay.
No,
Time out.
She finally,
Let's go.
stop cursing.
Pete.
Yeah. Salty nuts.
Uh-oh.
What the fuck was that? Sorry, David.
I knew it. I fucking knew it.
Sorry, David.
I'm sitting here looking at the clock. I'm going, when the fuck is he going to mention that?
What was that stuff this morning?
Okay,
Hands
so
over the ears.
the reason you saw on my show today, the four of you that showed up,
Yeah.
was a blurred video and two white scrolled text talking something about the content you are viewing has been censored for your safety. And then the bottom line was, if you would still like to view this content, there are links in the description below. And they were caps and they were very readable. And I had 0 DMs, 0 problems, 0 shit tossed at me for showing a stream, a previously recorded stream from Red Ice TV, where they don't hold Trump in high regard, where they don't say, "Hey, trust God, God wins." They're more of a culture crazed, that they want to retain their Western civilization stuff. So, and then I was going to do some Adam Green, which totally qualified for that censure. So I just thought, you know what? I'm not even going to show the Foxhole chat on the screen. Sorry if I'm hurting your feelings, but for those of you that do watch the show and do like it, had an option. That's all I wanted to do. I don't give two shits about the blue pillars and the a-holes that want to throw me bad DMs and and call me all sorts of names. It's just not part of my day anymore.
Okay, so hold on a second. You're telling me that Rumble, D Live, Kick, and what else was it?
Twitter.
Your Twitter
Odyssey.
Odyssey. Oh,
will let you play that white supremacist shit without consequence over Foxhole.
It's not the platform.
No,
It's
the platform
the
will let
people
you do
on
it.
the platform.
Yeah. Who's going to be more
not the
accepting of the
creators
information
of the
and listen
platform
to
or
it?
their rules. It is purely the audience.
Okay.
100%.
So what you're saying is, this is what you're saying, is that because you play somewhat controversial stuff, that you don't like the criticism.
I don't really like being tagged in message post on Foxhole with "I'm a piece of crap." And I mean, I could see someone's
What does
trying
that
to
matter to you?
get my goat, and a better man would advise me, well, just don't pay no attention to that. Well, I
Yeah,
did
but
not.
matter to you.
Is it that
Pardon?
same group of people?
Yeah.
It-
Yeah, the Piltifas. Yeah, the Piltifas.
The morons
I have a
incorporated.
sticker for that, by the way. I'll post a
No,
sticker.
the same group of people that I keep referring to.
There.
No,
different
it's
people.
just whoever's fifis I hurt that day, plus some of
Okay.
the usuals, and I just like, here's your safety bubble, okay? There you go. Now you can listen to it, you can choose to watch it, and I'm not pulling people from Foxhole to other platforms. I'm taking my current audience that wants to see it and giving them an option to temporarily go over here, watch the show. You know, I'm not asking you to leave Foxhole. I've brought thousands of people to Foxhole. I've brought thousands of dollars to Foxhole.
That's neither here nor there. What I'm saying is, I talk about a lot of controversial shit, right? On my podcast. I talk about Spaz, excuse me, but I talk about what's going on in Israel. Oh, okay, you're all right. I talk about what's going on in Palestine. I'm not pro-Israel. I'm voting for Donald Trump, but I'm not a super MAGA. I'd rather have Trump than anybody else. But dude, would I edit myself? Right? Would I edit myself because I got a couple of bad DMs? Fuck no.
It's not no, you can't
Sorry about that.
don't compare yourself and your show to what I show. That's not fair. There is clear differences. And when you deduce it down to a couple of DMs, that's just mean. It's just flat out.
I'm just saying.
There's so much more kickback I've been getting.
So
And
much more.
because I don't I'm not down with the gay thing. I'm not down with abortion. I'm not down with you know this whole Trump fascination. It's like a cultish fascination. I'm not down with crossbreeding, to tell you the truth. So when I show content, if it's got that in there, I'm not going to go, well, let me see about my audience. No, I'm on a free speech platform. They can choose to watch it or choose not to. But instead, there's this thing called a gotcha point and some dopamine. And I'll take two sides of dopamine with one gotcha point, please. You know, so if that's why I'm saying get out, go outside. There's a life out there. Don't sit here and watch this travesty unfolding daily.
I got another point of view that this kind of alludes to too, that I think a lot of people forget. And this is, I mean, the more left you are, the more worse you are at this issue. But even on our side of the fence, this is an issue. This is how I view freedom. Okay, what you do in your backyard, if it doesn't hurt my freedom, then it's none of my damn business. It's not my job to have an opinion about it. If you're doing something that I don't like, it doesn't matter. It's none of my damn business, period. and vice versa. And if everybody would remember that about freedom, everybody's free to do what they want, just the same as if somebody's streaming something that you don't care to see right now, then haul your ass on. But the idea that everybody's opinions somehow outweigh somebody else's opinion, well, that's a good way to get your nose broken.
Yeah. You know, I don't know if there's anybody here that has been with me for a long time. I know like Zombie, maybe Mayor or Cindy Duff over on the YouTubes or whatever. But there was a time where I set aside 10, 15 minutes of my podcast and I would read emails that I got from people, hate mail that I got from people 3-4 times a week, sometimes 7 or 8 emails a day from people because they didn't like what I said, or they didn't like the way that I said it, or I shouldn't be talking about these people or those people, or blah, 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 blah. I reported your channel because of this. If you have to alter yourself
Yeah.
because of your beliefs, because of what other people are saying, you're in the wrong business. And I know you don't think this.
Ricardi, is that a reference to me? If I have to alter myself, I'm in the wrong business.
That's a direct reference
Did
to
I-
you.
Did I alter myself?
Yes, you did. You
How so?
blurted it out and you sent people to other places
And
because
that took how long?
it
out of
doesn't
my day.
matter.
I
It
didn't
doesn't
change-
matter.
I already explained to everybody that's listening right now that if you have a problem, the solution comes within like 3/4 of a second. You might need a total of 5 to totally remap everything. And with a couple of clicks and a slide of a window and a tab over here, I was done with that. My mind was made up. That's what I was going to do. And I didn't sit there and dwell on it. And I didn't restrict anybody because they have options. You know, if they want to come see it, come see it. If you don't want to come see it, don't come see it. I just felt that it was unsafe for the general audience on this platform because I'm kind of tuned in to what's out there. You know, I've been around Foxhole for a little while, a couple minutes anyway.
Mhm.
And you know, I just didn't you know, you can take so many kicks or you can be like, no, I don't, yeah, I'm not gonna hand feed them this stuff. I'm not just gonna keep feeding the trolls. Here you go, here you go, here you go.
Since we brought this subject up, just on Foxhole, 10 people have left.
That's what we're talking about.
Is that a sign?
What I'm saying is, I'm still talking about it, even though 9 people have left. Somebody just came back in. That 9
Well,
people. have left.
Table of Titans is on, and I think they're playing a
Man,
movie right
you
now.
know,
So
I'm still, even though it makes them feel uncomfortable, this is what I'm talking about.
or
Yeah.
uninterested.
Right. This is what we're talking about right now on the Thursday Night Throwdown. So if you feel uncomfortable with that subject that we're talking about, whether it's your white supremacist friends, your anti-Jew friends, yada, 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 that's their problem, not yours. That's what I mean.
I wish that white supremacist, when said, sounded a little more entertaining for people. It just
But-
sounds bad.
But I listened to these people. They're white supremacists.
Well, so am I.
If
so
that's
so
what
then
you are,
so
if
so
that's what you are, then embrace it.
so
I-
then
well-
is Muhammad Ali, is he a black supremacist because he likes to have he
Absolutely.
wanted to marry a black woman to have black babies?
Absolutely.
Is it wrong for people to want to secure their culture, their heritage, where they came from? Absolutely, I don't think it is. I don't think it is at all. I don't think it is at all.
You know-
The number one group of people who are being targeted worldwide are white people, Northern white Anglo-Saxon people. That's who are being targeted to be
But it-
read out of existence.
But it's not okay for black people. It's not okay for white people or brown people or yellow people or any other colored people. Because that's what keeps us divided.
I know. It's almost like, the lines we follow continuously every day
Yeah.
are the lines drawn from shrapnel from fucking bombs.
Exactly.
It's information bombs. Boom! What's going on here? This is the lines. Boom! These are the lines
No,
over
I'm
here.
not-
What the fuck
I'm
is
not
going on?
claiming I won't allow a claim to be white supremacist because it's not what it's about. I am
What is
pro
it?
Western civilization.
Then that's what you are.
Yeah,
That's what you are. That's what you are.
that's what I am.
Then
Pro
there's no
Western
reason-
civilization.
There's
What
no
about
reason
America?
for you. I'm pro-American. I'm a constitutional conservative. I've been like that all my life.
I believe
never
everybody
run away
has the
from it.
right.
But if that's what you are and people don't like it, that's not your problem. That's
Can I
their
give you-
problem.
I got an observation for you in between something that I find
I love
frustrating
to
because
eat pizzas too. Go ahead.
Hey, Pete, that was a good conversation. Thanks for bringing it up and mentioning my earlier show. That was
You
I
didn't
knew
think
it
we
was
were gonna
going to
let
come
that
to
fly.
the surface.
Did you?
I knew it was coming. I fucking knew it, man. Go ahead, Rev.
Yes, sorry, Reverend.
so many of the people that follow the bent of the quote unquote white supremacists, they like to profess like to be a 1488er, right? So
Yeah.
14, but follow along with me for a minute. So 14, the 14 comes from Nathan Lane, who wrote a book, and he in his book there was a quote. It was 14 words, like I don't know it word for word, but it was basically, we have to secure a future for our white children or something to that effect. But here's the thing. When you look at the history of Nathan Lane, he went to prison for killing a black family, spent his life in prison, and did absolutely nothing positive for any people, let alone white people, other than write a book talking about how much he hates everybody. And this is my point. This is the reason I bring it up. Why does, if all these people that are the pro, white supremacist bent, why is the identity about everybody we hate not the identity about pro us? It's always anti them. See what I'm saying?
Yes.
Where's the pro us part? You see what I'm saying? It's like if you're, and I don't care what color, what identity you have, if your entire life is wrapped up in who you hate, then I just fundamentally can't.
Okay, all right. Let me step in here, guys. All right, so what I think Salty's getting at here, and what I've contemplated
I'm not trying to dig on Salty. I'm just bringing an observation.
Well, that's fine.
This isn't about him.
That's fine. So
okay,
I was digging on him.
Well, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine.
I was just bringing a general observation.
I know what you're doing, Pete, because you've done that to me. I don't know countless times. Okay, so but here's the thing though, is we're not saying that it's bad for racist. Hold on, I just got really excited for a second.
Here, let me help you out. Candace Owens, I would tap that shit.
So I've stated several times where I find racism to be is when a master sergeant told me that we all bleed red blood and pussy is pink on the inside. Okay, so that pretty much summed up to me 20 years ago about racism. Now, where it comes to what I am not in line with is I'm not in line with this agenda to eradicate the white population. And that you cannot deny that what's going on for the last 15 years in Europe, because Europe was mainly Northern European, Anglo-Saxon white people. You had the Czech culture, you had the German culture, you had the French culture, you had the Netherlands culture, you had the Swedish, Norway, everybody. Okay, that just happened to be their culture where they came from. Now, what you have is
the target.
We are now the United States is the next target to eradicate the white population. Hence why we have tens of thousands of people, brown and dark colored people coming across the United States in at literally 10,000 people at a time. They're coming every fucking day. Okay. That is exact same measures they used 15 years ago to invade Europe. And I'm looking at myself going, 15 years ago, I wasn't paying attention. 15 years ago, I was more worried about not getting shot. So, but now that I'm not worried about that as much, but I'm more worried about, well, what happens? I mean, because I have a family of nine Pakistanis or some shit like that moved in across the street and bought a house. Well, as far as I know, the father's not working. The kids go to school. Where's the mother? Where are his older sons? Where are they working at?
Heritage is not a memory. It is something you can see in
I'm
your
not
descendants.
I'm not looking because there's 9 of them compared to 1 of me. Okay, so they have replaced their mother and father's footprint for the next generation. White people are not doing that. White people are not having as many babies as that. Okay, and then what I'm saying is that we could have. I loved it back in the day when it was cool because during school I remember when I was in grade school, we celebrated everybody's culture, like all major continent cultures. We celebrated those. We at least not as celebrated, but we acknowledged we looked at their what they did and their culture and their dress and their food and stuff like that. I think that's a wonderful, wonderful thing, is to have an amalgamation of all these cultures in their own areas. Okay. Make Africa great again. Africans, stay in fucking Africa. Okay? That's what Africans, not black people who are born 3 generations here in America. After that, you're an American. Right. I'm talking about Hispanics, Guatemalans, Honduras. Go back to your country and create and fight for your own fucking culture. Don't come here and try to change American culture and eradicate the white person because somebody is feeding you this. Okay? Now, I feel like I can talk like this because my ex-wife is Hispanic. Okay, I married a Hispanic woman, so I'm not a racist individual. But I do like the fact that black people want to stay with black people, white people will like to breed with white people. That we have all these different cultures. We have Chinatown. There's little Italian. Then you go to any big city and you have all these amalgamations of these little cultures within the city itself, and everybody can move within all these cultures, and no one really has a problem about it.
But you don't. Put
that's where I'm going at. Like, why can't we get back to that, to where it's okay that we have these different, these different communities, but then all of a sudden, we all go to Walmart, don't we? We all go to fucking, the grocery store. We all have to eat. We all have to get our haircuts.
But all the world's governments are putting them all in a blender and fucking eating. No.
It's not the average person. It's not us. The thing is that people like us who want to say it's okay if you want to stay within your skin color. In your culture, that's fine. Nothing wrong with that at all.
That's
all right.
My
Just
point.
don't make me feel like I'm a bigot and I'm a racist because I want to create white babies.
There's
that's the thing.
That's my point. There's a distinction between being pro us and anti them. If you're a group of people that all your identity is based on anti them, then you're not doing anything useful for yourselves. You're just fueling, misery for the sake of misery, at least for my estimation. However, if you're somebody that's worried about pro us, then is that really, I don't see those as the same thing at all. That's what I'm saying.
Here, look.
Pete's got a good point, though. He's witnessed over at my show, the gal Lana Lektoff of Red Ice TV she mixes snobbish righteousness, a snobbish righteous attitude with be proud of your heritage, and then on cocky moments you will not be able to not call her a white supremacist. It's laid out that way. And we came to a handshake agreement, me and Pete did, that on that one show right there, she was being a white supremacist.
Yeah.
Now, I'm for what Warrior was saying, Africa being Africa, and I'm not against them. I'm against them here. Okay, get out. Unless you can show me that you came legally, get out. Go away, because bury them here
Right.
comes next.
Okay, hold on. Hold on. The whole conversation went in a different direction.
Yes.
Okay.
My censorship, yeah.
What I'm saying was, I have no problem. Spaz wants to talk about heavy metal all day, every day. He does his Monday, mandatory Metal Mondays. Doesn't give not 1, 2, or 3 flying fucks if there's one person or 1,000 there. He does it every Monday. Warrior in the Garden does his Warrior in the Wood Shop, the Disconnect Theater, the this, to that, the 37 other shows that he does. If there's 2 people, if there's 200, he's doing the show. Reverend Rand, I don't know what the fuck he does, but he does it every fucking day. He doesn't
Well,
edit
let me-
himself. He doesn't
Can I
edit
add
himself.
to-
Hold on. I'm not done yet. He doesn't edit himself. He doesn't go off of this platform, that platform. If you believe everything that Warrior said and everything that you say, you're anti this, you're anti that, own it. Don't give a shit what anybody else says. Don't fucking let somebody say, well, you're a bad person. So fucking what?
I'm right there with you, Pete.
Stick up for who you are as a person. Whether you want to label yourself a fucking Nazi, be my guest. I don't give a shit. I don't care.
Yeah,
It's just, you
I hear
shouldn't censor
I hear
yourself because other people are criticizing you.
I've recently I bumped into some stuff that I was considered airing, and it's as far as how far the pendulum swings. You know, you go from Red Ice TV, and then you touch base on Adam Green, and you would think that you hear the ding by now by it slamming to the end, but there's others out there that I'm tempted to show, and I just you know, from the flack that I'm getting, I just thought, well, I'm going to
Who
take a break.
cares? Who cares
just-
about black?
Right. That's my whole point here is who gives a zero flying fuck what anybody has to say, ignore all their comments and go do more than them. That's why I have 37 shows, is because my haters they can't come back and go, oh well, you don't verify, you don't have a variety of shows. Like, motherfucker, I have 37 motherfucking shows. Are you serious? I don't do a variety of shows. I do a lot of different shows. I do different titles, and within the content of those shows, I do different stuff. So
That's
I'm like, that's kind of how I handle it, because I grew up as a really fat kid. And so they're like, oh, you can't do this. And so I'm like, all right, well, motherfucker, I'll show you that I can do this as a fat kid.
Right.
And so that's what I would end up doing, is end up proving to people
All
that I
right,
can do
okay,
it.
all right, you guys got me. I'll pull off the blur, but I'm not gonna watch the.
You don't have
chats.
that. You don't have to engage at all, Salty. You know, the thing is that you've been here for over 700 shows, and that says something. Okay,
711.
711 shows on this platform alone. So that's who has the authority to take that off of your belt, or to take that away from
Well,
you?
if I don't
Nobody.
if I don't do a show for like 9 times, Scotty from Woke Societies is going to catch me, and he'll have the authority to judge me. But no, nobody else has caught me on the amount of shows. Scotty's getting close.
Yeah, you know, he is.
He'll be
He's
able
probably,
to wag that
he's probably
finger
surpassed you by
sternly.
now.
Warrior
Honestly,
in
he
the
probably
Garden.
surpassed you.
Warrior in the Garden did 711 shows last week.
Probably, yeah, I think so. I mean, I've done. Let's see, this week alone, I've done, what are we, Thursday? I think I'm at 7 shows so far this week.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean,
and I still
before I
have
lost my
have
voice-
Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So you know, who knows how many shows I might do that.
Before all this
How do you
sickness
figure-
bullshit, I was doing 14, 15 shows a week.
How do you
Yeah.
figure how many shows you do?
two a day. Well, you can
Very
keep track
intelligent.
of them, but I think honestly, I'm probably right around 500 or 600 shows.
Oh, I
I've
got to
done by
be in the
myself.
thousands.
How do
Yeah,
you
you
know?
got to be. You've been doing this for how many years? 10 years, 15 years, something like that.
Oh
I
yeah,
Yeah.
remember what
Yeah,
Nova
so
said
that's
in my
ridiculous.
chat
I'm in
today
the
on that show.
thousands.
When
How do
he
you
read
Yeah,
the
people's
scroll.
Nova X says we all need salt. Absolutely,
Yeah.
we want you on the. We want you to show your stuff. You know, and
But
the thing is that when we talk salted, when you and I have just normal conversations and people are listening, we have 30 to 40 people. We have over
Yeah.
100 people stop in the 2 hours that you and I talk.
Yeah.
So they're hearing what we say, or they're not listening to it. If they're not listening to it, then that's fine. That's their own decision. But I'm not going to stop doing what I'm doing. I don't want you to stop. I don't want you to
yeah,
stop. I want
the
you
last
to.
one we did, it was
This is what I
kind
want
of
you to
on
do.
the
I'm like, all my haters, look at the camera and go, all my haters. Hold on a second here. I got one for you, and I got another one. Okay, so that's
No,
the
I'm
way I
saying-
look at it.
How do
I
you
was trying to invoke a conversation and turn it.
how do you
I get passionate sometimes.
how do you know how many streams you did? How do you know that?
you can
I gotta be
count
honest
them
with
up. You can number them like I do.
Oh,
I
And if
never-
you ever lose count, you can ask the admin to run a total, and then you knock off like 3% or whatever for the little test shows, the little things that aren't really
Bullshit
shows,
stuff
and then
you
you
do,
come
yeah.
up with a rounded number that's really accurate. And
so
Yeah.
we don't we don't rightfully know. There's no way to rightfully
I never
Black Mamba.
I never counted.
anyway, you just
I just
I have
been
no
hammering
idea.
them out.
Yep,
been-
me too.
Yeah.
I've been sleeping
Yeah.
through streams.
Hey, real quick, Salty. My good friend Wood Geek, he says Salty's been there for 7 to 11 shows. Well, 7-11, according to Biden, that means you got to start talking with a slight Indian
A
accent.
slight Indian accent.
Thank you, Comic Gun.
Hey,
You can't walk
Pete,
into a 7-Eleven.
speaking of India,
my
as far as population growth, going back to this protection of Western civilization, aka our heritage,
Mhm.
India is on the top of births right now, and North America is on the bottom.
Yeah.
It didn't used to be
Not
that
good.
way. And if you look at how far we are on the bottom, there's a huge cliff. The drop off would kill you. We're in a serious decline. It's become insolvent. It's destiny that we do get eradicated, but until then, I'm going to bitch.
Bitch.
Okay.
And don't give a fuck what anybody else says.
Bingo.
All
How
right,
about
I'll
that?
take the blur off. I'll take
Thank
the blur
you.
off. You
know,
got me.
They can take this exit right here. I'll drop the sticker, but they can take this exit 116 and lick my nuts 600 meters.
Lick 'em my
So
nuts. Yeah.
There you go.
They can lick 'em my nuts.
that's right.
There you go. That was my whole point to this, is that there's people out there that have the same point of view as you, same point of view as Spaz, same point of view as Warrior, not so much Reverend Ramp, but same point of view as me.
we
and,
should meet up in a pub somewhere.
I'm all
So
alone.
pull the filter off.
Right.
Nobody
Yeah,
loves
both-
me.
Nobody
Both,
loves me.
Both barrels unloaded, sawed off.
You live in
I don't-
California.
You know, I never
boom-
even get
boom
invited on
sticks
anybody
all
else's
day
show
long.
either. It hurts my feelings.
All right, Pete.
You're
I'll
only
pull the
here
filter
twice a
off.
week. Anyway,
Okay, Pete?
Novax.
Okay.
I think
World Pokemon.
Thank you for bringing it up and pointing it out. I will pull the filter off, although it was funny what Nova X said on today's show.
Mm,
He came in and he read the ticker and he said LOL, and they probably won't figure out why.
yeah,
That's true. Oh, people
it's
are
okay.
dumb.
All right, anybody got anything else? Because I want to go.
Oh,
I'm at my maximum.
You've been screaming enough. Look, let me tell you.
I
what,
have been.
Most of the time, I'm the last to leave, and I want to be the first Boeing like flight door to blow off and send this spiraling fucking train wreck into the ground.
Absolutely.
I love all you guys all the time. You know, no Cuomo, hugs only.
Groping, like groping.
Like
Oh, reach arounds. How good
No,
are you?
No, okay.
You're not going to expect anything from me except me laughing hysterically at you. You want a high five and a hug? That's about it, because I'm going to have my clothes on. And
So little bump and grind.
well, look, if I give you the finger,
Middle school
It's-
dancing.
it's not going to be inserted.
Damn.
Not unless it's up your fucking nose, bitches. Anyway, look, I love
Hey,
you guys.
Black Mamba, thank you
This
for
is
that.
great.
I wish everybody acted that way.
This is great. Every Thursday, we just fucking kill it, slam it down, suplex it. It's like a Thursday night.
The place to
SmackDown
be
or
on
something.
Thursday nights.
It is.
Yep.
I think it is, and
Yeah.
you know we're all on the list.
I think I'm gonna have to find a woman to kind of balance us out here.
Wait,
Ooh.
are you talking about me finding a woman? Because
Get
No.
Curly Kaylee. Shut
I
I
up,
don't know if
Curly.
that's
Come
going
on.
to balance you out,
Well,
Spaz.
don't
So
even
Get
talk
Curly.
about that. Because
Get Curly.
I would jump on that like you wouldn't fucking believe.
You would
Curly
jump
will
on.
knock. Curly will
You
knock
just
it
fucking
out of
left.
the park.
Did he just leave? All right, he left. Okay. Bye, Spaz. Good to see you, buddy.
Pete, you want me to call? You want me to call up Curly?
Yeah, ask her if she wants to come on next Thursday,
Okay.
and maybe we'll see how it works out. She can become a
Oh,
permanent.
dude, it will.
She's
I've had her on my
Yeah.
show before.
It will be
She's been on my
memorable.
show before. Yeah.
I mean, with this panel here, it will be memorable.
Okay.
She'll probably make us blush.
No, I'm sure.
To be honest.
Mhm.
So we'll go to Reverend Rand. Tell us what you're doing this weekend.
Well, I want to make a quick point too, because what Black Mama pointed out, that just because you don't like someone else doesn't mean you got to go troll them and be a dick.
Yeah.
The,
Yeah.
the lawsuit and everything that I'm going through right now is exactly because of that. Because children couldn't just accept that somebody else is not going to agree with their bullshit. And I'm going to emphasize children. If they want to cry about that, suck your thumb, bitches. I don't care. But I also want to tell you, for those of you who don't know, yesterday I was supposed to have Moms for Liberty on, Jennifer Pippin for Moms for Liberty. And the night before, she was in a car accident and her arm's broken and she went through a pretty serious concussion. So much so that they kept her in the hospital for 48 hours. And for those of you that know about concussions, that's actually quite a long time to be supervised.
Yes, it is. It's a long time.
Over a concussion. So we are tentatively shooting for the 23rd. And I'm going to work out the dates and make sure before I start advertising it. But we're tentatively shooting for the 23rd. She is still hopping to come on. She's ready to roll. She has a whole presentation put together. This woman, even going through what she's going through, she's still fired up and ready to fire both cannons. So God bless her. And for those of you, I asked a bunch of people to pray. For those of you that have been praying, it's working. Prayers work. Make sure to keep praying. Make sure to keep praying for Pete, for Warrior, for Salty, whether they like it or not. Let's pray for him anyway. So, hey, we love you. You might be dicks, but we love you.
That's right.
But here's the thing. Every Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday and Friday, you can catch me 9 p.m. Eastern Alligator Time on my regular Showtime, my regular channel. So make sure you hop on. If you want to talk a little bit about the gospel and the moral foundations that make up this nation, then come hang out with me on Sundays. On Tuesdays and Thursdays, you can usually catch me right here with Pete the Patriot and the rest of the miscreants. I will say this though, next Tuesday, don't look for me. I probably won't be joining. I'll be preparing because we're going to be in the courtroom Wednesday. So
Okay.
this could be for all the cookies. We'll see how it plays out.
Okay. Gotcha.
Hey, since Warrior came last, I get to go next.
Sure.
Okay.
All right. Love you guys.
Yeah.
All right, Reverend.
Hey,
You
Rev.
well, buddy.
We'll see you
see ya.
next Thursday then.
Before you go, Rev, I've been known to say things before thinking them through. If I have done
No
that
shit.
and pissed you off, please stand in line with the other people that are still trying to forgive me.
I'm ahead of you.
Take a number.
Yeah.
It's something I've been working on it for 58 years.
I
I'm
still-
going to
I still got a
continue.
number.
I'm gonna-
Right. I'll catch up with you later.
All right.
All right, man. Take it easy.
Be well. My man.
Peace. Love,
Peace.
peace, and air grease.
There you
Other
go.
than that,
Shit.
I'm gonna go ahead and pull off the thingy off my show and just let shit fly, and I'm just not gonna pay attention to the chats. And if they want to chat and have me interact with it, then they
There you
can
go.
go. Then they can make that step. But as far as viewing the content, I'll let them see it and not care two shits.
There you go.
All right, thanks for having me on. I'm gonna go enjoy the wife.
There you go.
There you go.
See you later, guys.
Take it easy.
Later, buddy.
Thanks for coming. All right, Mr.
Wow,
Gordon.
I'm the last person on the list here. Okay,
Wow,
so
it's been a long time.
I know it has been a long time. I've always got something going on. Let's see here. Tomorrow's Friday. I have Friday. Yes, Friday. Sometime tomorrow I will go live and we'll have a short conversation about what's going on in my garden. You guys will see an update, and I'll tell you about the weather and the rain and what it's been like and what I perceived to from what I see from the current growth, what I expect. Just a little basically a little one-on-one in my backyard. And then Friday night, I don't know what I'm going to be doing Friday night, to be honest. I've thought about just playing a video, but I know Saturday for sure I'm going to have open mic night. The dojo is going to be open on Saturday night, and for anybody to just Josie. Sorry, I think you said good night to everybody. Good night, Salty. For anybody to come in and to have a conversation with me about anything in particular. Again, it's all driven from the people's comments in the chat and people's participation. So I will have no topic in particular to talk about on Saturday night, but whatever you guys want to talk about, and I'll put the link in the chat so people can come on and have a conversation. And
Cool.
Then Sunday, obviously, Disconnect Theater. We're going to watch the first 3 of the Lord of the Rings series, and the Hobbit, the Unexpected Journey, the Decimation of Smaug, and then the Battle of 5 Armies. So we're going to watch all those in all the glory. Look for it's probably going to be an early start, guys. So watch. I'm right now it's 10:11 my time, and it's 8:19 about the same time in West Coast. So
Yep.
Adjust for that, people, because if I do this early, it's going to be 10 o'clock my time, 8 o'clock West Coast time. So, wake and bake, get your snacks prepared and your beverages prepared on Sunday or on Saturday. And that way you guys can jump right into it on Sunday. And it's always open to everybody who wants to watch. They're free movies. I pay for the service, but I give it free to everybody who wants to watch. And I even posted on my other platforms too for people to come and to see to watch it. Trying to bring more eyes to Pilled, but in a respectful manner, but in a different context, if I will.
Yeah.
So because there's different people who have different ideas on Pilled. So
Absolutely.
beyond that, I had tonight. I was going to tell you about tonight. My meeting before I leave here. I was with GI Wingnut. If you guys know who that is,
Yeah.
He's been around for a long time on the platform, and he actually reached out to me, and we had a conversation, and he invited me to this Central Missouri's human trafficking organization. So I am going to be working with them and trying to do whatever it is I can do. Look out for things, see something, say something, investigations, stuff like that. And I'll be if we go on location or if we do something where we're out in the field, rest assured that I will be recording it, and also look for again the people's opinion. That's something I need to get going. I need to start talking to people out in the public to find out what their opinion is on X, Y, and Z topic. It doesn't matter.
Right.
So, excuse me. So, but beyond that, I want open and honest conversation with people, despite the fifis, despite all of that stuff, I think it's very, very important for us to have a conversation about any particular topic and not get all worked up and all emotional about it.
I agree.
There's way too many emotions that are predicating people's conversations, and it's disgusting and it's nauseating to be honest, because you would think that one person is smart or so and so is smart, but then when you have a conversation with them, you realize, oh my gosh, these people are retarded, because their scope of reality, their scope of in-depth conversation or in-depth research they've done with themselves is about a half an inch.
Yeah.
So
A fingernail.
fingernail scratching. Yeah. So, but again, you have to take that with a grain of salt, and you have to, when you take that into context, and then try and work with somebody. But there are going to be people, no matter what platform you go onto, that are just going to be complete fucking idiots, and they're going to say whatever they want to say. They're gonna do whatever they want to do, and I'm like, you know what? That just gives me more to laugh at. You're just giving me more ammunition to burn you down. So keep it coming, please. I see a target-rich environment for the haters. That's how I see it. And you can't really, with somebody who has ample amounts of ammunition. I'm just going to sit there and it's going to be a turkey shoot for me. And it has been so far, because I've actively called people out for my Saturday dojo night for anybody to come on and have a conversation about anything. I've actively called people out on through messages and stuff like that. And I've gotten zero responses. None of my haters actually want to come on and have a conversation with me. It's because they don't have the balls to. So when I know that they don't have the balls to, it's like all the wind has been taken out of their sails in my book. And it's like, okay, well, I'm doing so many different types of shows. Well, why aren't you? If you're a hater of mine, if all my things are shit, then why aren't you doing more than me?
Yeah, 99.9% of the people who send you hate mail, they don't have content.
They don't have a dick to stand on. Okay,
they don't have a camera.
No, they don't. They have a camera. Yeah, they have a camera, but they hide behind it, and they hide behind their TV screen, and they don't go on anybody else's program. They're not invited on. No, they're not invited on other people's programs because they're fucking idiots. That's why. That comes down to it.
That's what it
so,
comes
all right,
down.
I'm done talking. Thank you very much, Pete. Appreciate it.
Right.
Sorry I was a little late, but I was actually trying to be in my community, of course.
No
everybody out there, thank you very much for being here. All the Black Mamba and everybody else sharing the links and stuff like that. It's been great. I do appreciate it. And the chat has been on fire tonight. It has been a wonderful way to look and read what people are talking about, because they're engaged. And I love that. So everyone out there, be well. I'll see you this weekend. And have a good night. Pete, get some rest, man. Get some rest, and I'll talk to you later. Give April a big hug and kiss for me.
Absolutely.
Kiss on the cheek, nonetheless.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
anyways, all right. There you go. Fist bump there.
Yeah.
All right. Good night, everybody. Be well.
Good night. All right, guys. Thank you guys so much. You know what I didn't do today was I didn't say hello to anybody on Reverend Rant's channels, his X, D Live, so on and so forth. Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate each and every one of you, just to let you know. And thank you for watching, even with my harsh voice. On my YouTube, D Live, and X, thank you guys for being here. And of course, on my pilled.net, thank you so much for all the gold pills, red pills, blue pills, and the Venmo, Black Mamba. Thank you so much. And if I missed anybody, thank you. I will see you sometime tomorrow. I don't know if it's going to be in the morning or the evening or both. I don't know. It all depends on how I'm feeling. So until then, thank you again once again, and I will see everybody really soon. Bye-bye.